My name is Kala, Arvind Kala. Same sickening story. 2 days ago, two little boys, 5 and 7, were mauled to death by stray dogs. It happens every few weeks, every few months. And for every little boy or girl who is bitten to death and eaten up by stray dogs, there are probably 100 which are not even reported. Because where do these events in distant villages or here and there find their way into the Times of India? But what is more astonishing is, is the silence of our leaders. Two little boys torn apart by stray dogs. Modi silence, Kejriwal silent, Sonia Bhagwantwan silent, Yogi, Nitish, nobody. It doesn't matter. They're too busy stitching up a coalition between Tejasvi and this and whether the Congress should go with Stalin or with Jayalalitha's party. Everything, this just goes under the blanket. Now in India, let me tell you one thing which will startle you. You'll fall off your chair, my friend. Something like every day, something like 54 people die of rabies, and 90% of these 54 deaths happen from dog bites. That's not me, that's BBC, that's WHO, and that's borne out by the National Portal Health of India. And that this is a figure which has remained constant. Some 20,000 estimated deaths. You divide that by 365 days in a year, and it comes to 54 deaths every day in India, or two people dying of rabies every 1 hour. Now, believe me, you can talk to any Indian you know, any friend, neighbor, relative, in-law, colleague, and ask them whether they've been attacked by a dog or they've heard of somebody near to them who's been attacked. And 100% I can tell you, they will say yes. The number of dog bites, the point is, if I'm bitten by a dog, who do I go to? Nothing. Nobody to go to. If I go to the cop station, they'll say what to do. Nothing and the dogs keep multiplying. Do you know what the population of stray dogs in India is? Actually, it is something unknowable. But our agri census, which is conducted every 5 years, estimated the India's street dog population as 153 lakhs, 15.3 million. And stray dogs, I'm told, produce the 1 or 2 litters a year. And each litter is 4 dogs. So suppose even half of them survive, 2 or 1. So that these figures of 153 lakhs taken 5 years ago would have gone up to how much? 200 lakhs, 250 lakhs, 300 lakhs. Who knows? Another thing, how the hell does the aggregate census government officers go around counting dogs? I've lived on the same street in Delhi for the last 35 years. I have no idea how many dogs there are. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. But just anecdotal evidence from what you see every day, no matter where you go. There are dogs everywhere, and people get bitten. And even our tourism is affected. I spent 2 months this winter in Goa, and I didn't walk on the beach because there are too many of these dogs, and some of them, they do attack. I've been attacked at my doorstep in GK2 here in Delhi. And I spent four goddamn thousand paying for those shots once in a month. 4,000 it cost me. So to make up that 4,000, I didn't have mutton for 4 months. Because that for say 5.5 kilos of my share of mutton was gone, and I had to stint somewhere. So this is the state of India. And I never walked on the beach, and I used to walk everywhere. And everywhere go, these dogs, yelping dogs, and these bleeding heart animal lovers. You talk of putting them down. All over the world they put down animals. Here the strange streak of vegetarianism, don't kill anybody. It's okay, killing and eating a goat, killing and eating a fish, killing and eating pigs, killing and eating ducks, that's okay. But when it comes to dogs, no. The other day I heard a very sensible comment from an Andhra fellow, an MLA. He said, why don't we send all the stray dogs to Nagaland where people relish dog meat? Now, the same thing has been voiced several times by a Punjab MLA once, by Kerala MLA, all over. And they're all helpless. Nobody understood, no silence. It doesn't matter. I've lived all my useless life in India, and never have I heard a single leader, Prime Minister or Chief Minister, from Indira Gandhi to Lal Bahadur Shastri to now, saying, what are we going to do about this rabies? We account for 20,000 rabies deaths in the world. That is, and we are only 20% of the population. We are known as the rabies capital of the world. This is the most shameful thing in India. I mean, simply speaking, how it works out is, how this dog event has worked out is that preserving dogs, not killing dogs, is worth more than letting human beings being killed by rabies and little children mauled to death. And nobody notices these little children getting killed because the children of the poor. You'll never hear of a well-to-do guy's kid, 5-year-old kid being mauled to death because he's got an attendant, he's got a mother following him, a father following him, somebody looking after him. So who are these little kids who are there? The poor laborer women, Rajasthani woman carrying a sack full of this bricks on her head and her kid is outside and he wanders off. He wanders off somewhere, 5-year-old kid, 7-year-old, and there's a pack of dogs which are hungry and angry. And they bite this guy and they eat up whatever they can of him. Because let's not forget, gentlemen, that the dog has descended from the wolf. And the wolf is a purely carnivorous creature. So our foolish Indians who think that rearing dogs on vegetarian food, they're fools. I mean, what is that? You'll never find a dog who's a vegetarian. Offer a dog a bone and meat and he comes running after you. So for these dogs on the streets, 153 lakhs of them, that little kid or something is food. They see meat in that little kid and he's mauled to death. And how do we know how much of it is eaten or here and there? Little slum clusters in Bihar or Orissa or Rajasthan or wherever. Who will they? The mother and father will say, Babuji, maine bachchen ko udhar kutte kha gaye. And then it's time to produce another kid. Do you know how many kids there are below the age of 9? There are 238 million kids. That's what the Indian census says. That's more than 238 million kids below 9 are more than the population of England, Germany and France put together. And these are so nobody cares. No Modi. Maximum governance, minimum government. It's just empty words. Nobody cares. Because it's the poor kids who are getting mauled. And it's the people in slum clusters. After all, where do most dogs hang around? Not near wealthy people's buildings. No, not at all. Because there's no food out there, but in slum clusters, some chap will throw something. After all, thousands of slum dwellers live in a small settlement, shanty settlement. Somebody is eating, he'll see a dog, he'll throw something there. And these are the people who get bitten. So everybody ignores it. If it was happening in Malabar, Hill or Amrita Shergill Marg or any fancy place in cities, there'd be an uproar. And this is very sad. It is absolutely, and our ridiculous addiction to animals, animal life, etc., etc. Hey, all over the world, my friends, millions of animals are culled. CULLED. It's a part of, we imagine that this planet is large enough to support every form of life. No, not at all. Now, America has had something like 50,000 wild horses. The land can only support 12,000. So the rest of the horses they export to France and Japan and China, etc., where those horses are eaten up because horse flesh is relished all over Europe. And camels, thousands of camels are killed. Now in Australia, millions of cats. They drop those poisoned sausages from choppers for the cats to eat. That's how they get rid of cats and kangaroos and you know, a camel in Australia, for instance, camels they're killed and they're rotten for Australia. You see, a camel drinks 200 liters of water in a few minutes, and Australia is water short. So Australians find that there's no water for their cattle, for their ranches. So they kill the animals. So there's a Norway zoo or Denmark zoo which didn't have money for to keep a giraffe, extra giraffe. They fed the giraffe to its own lions. It's routinely done. Norway culled 70% of its wolf population because you know wolves become too many in number. So you got to eliminate them. Otherwise, they start feeding on sheep or goats, whatever little cattle life there is in Norway's ranches all over. That is how it is. You know, the most sensible society of the world are in East Asia and Southeast Asia. You know, tiger bones are hugely wanted among the Chinese and Japanese and all these people of East Asia and Southeast Asia. So they have Laos and other areas of this. They have tiger farms where they breed tigers for the tiger's skin, for its tiger bones, because there's a feeling in the Southeast and East Asia that eating tiger bone soup, strengthens your virility, male virility, and so they breed farms. So because the Buddhists and the Christians are very, very sensible, they do this. I remember some years ago in Romania, the whites and the Buddhists are very sensible people. I remember in Romania, one kid was killed by stray dogs. Romania handed over the killing of stray dogs to an agency and there were no dogs overnight. I think close by Sri Lanka has got rid of thousands and thousands of its stray dogs. But here you tell animal lovers that all these they should be put down, and they come after you. I remember writing something on a California website some years ago about getting rid of these dogs, about putting them down, and there were chaps threatening me with violence. See you outside your gate. We'll track you down, etc., etc. And everywhere in every park here in India, you'll find some of these do-gooders and bleeding heart animal lovers feeding these dogs in parks. My friends, get one thing straight. In other societies also, they stray dog lovers and they keep thousands, probably tens of thousands, maybe a couple of million dogs are kept like that. But they're kept in shelters. But all these feeders of dogs, they won't take the dogs home. They won't spend money on that. They'll come to a park with some food and give it to stray dogs and stroke them and pet them and go home. And the people die of rabies every day, 54 a day, and nobody squeaks. This is the kind of country there is. We're incapable of critical thinking. What's going on? It doesn't register. I tell you, we make all ourselves economic superhouse and this and that and a nuclear power. Essentially, we are just a third-rate, useless country. That's why the other day, Rishi Sunak of UK Prime Minister, he says 687 every day. Two Indians were trying to enter UK illegally from France. Every 687. 687 in a year, you divide that. Every day, two Indians were trying to get into this thing. And we are the economic, make in India. All, just talk. I'm tired of this place. Yeah. I'm going to go to goddamn Burundi. Yeah. So I'll wish you goodbye. Yeah. See you later, alligator.